Right, Jimmy? Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the council meeting of the Mayor and Havre City Council. The date is June 21st, 2022. The time is now 7 o'clock p.m. I'd like to call the roll. Council President Ringsager.
Here.
Councilmember Robertson.
Here.
Councilmember Zinner.
Here.
Councilmember Boyer.
Here.
Councilmember Shenagus.
Here.
Councilmember Martin.
Here.
All council members are present and accounted for. Could I ask everybody to please join me for Pledge of Allegiance and opening prayer? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I could kindly ask everybody to remain standing, as it's my privilege to call up Reverend Gene Proud, the Proud Evangelistic Association. Welcome back, sir. It's always a pleasure. Happy first day of summer.
Thank you very much. And it's a very nice day in your town for summer. Let's pray. Father, guide everyone here so that they'd all be filled with your wisdom and knowledge, that everything would be done smoothly and efficiently and in accordance with your will. We ask these things in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Reverend Proud, thank you. Item 5, approval of minutes. We're going to start with item A, City Council meeting minutes of June 6, 2022. Council have a motion to approve.
So move. Second.
A motion by Councilmember Zinner, seconded by Councilmember Boyer.
Shenagus.
This is going to be tough. All right, Councilmember Shenagus, sorry. Questions or comments on the meeting minutes? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. City Council meeting minutes of June 6, 2022 are approved 6-0 in affirmative. Item B, the City Council public hearing minutes from June 16, 2022. That motion to approve.
So move.
Motion by the Council President, seconded by Councilmember Zinner. Questions or comments?
Mr. Mayor.
Council President?
Sir, about 3/4 of the way down on the page, the paragraph starts, Mayor Martin responded to comments regarding the increase in professional services and noted that since he took office, there was estimated to be 16 less full-time employees. That number, sir, is actually 7.
Right. Correct. Thank you.
Thank you. I make a motion that that be amended.
All right.
Friendly motion, friendly amendment.
So moved.
Perfect.
All right. Thank you.
Friendly. Okay.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. City Council public hearing meeting minutes of June 16, 2020 carry 6-0 in the affirmative. Item number 6, comments from citizens. This is the part of the City Council meeting. If you wish to address an item on the agenda, or if you're here on any other matter of city business, this is the time to speak. What I normally do is I start with the pre-filled out forms, and I'll call on those citizens first. And afterwards, I'll just call on anybody at large that wishes to speak. So I'd like to call forward Mr. Kirk Smith.
Good evening, Mayor, City Council, staff. My name is Kirk Smith. I live at 840 Otsego Street, Havre, Grace, Maryland, 21078, and I would like to wish everybody a blessed solstice. Today is one of my Sabbaths called Letha, and I'd like to offer up a blessing for everybody that's here, especially those people that grow gardens like pumpkins and other vegetables. and it's small plants, leaves and buds, growing strong and oh so tall. O fiery sun, grant them your rays of light and warmth. Bless us all with fertile soil and allow the seeds we have planted to blossom with life and abundance. So mote it be. I'll move on to a question I had about the budget that I did not cover on the 16th. It's a great meeting. Thank you for answering all of the questions from the couple of few folks that were here and addressing some of those, especially the professional services. Good catch to the council president. We had noted that the mayor said 16 and then seen a tweet come out for 9 positions to be filled. I like the fact that they looked like they were good positions, so thank you so much. I have a question on the trolley budget and a couple observations. It's set for 0 this year, correct? I think I read that in the line item, that there was nothing requested in the fiscal year 23 budget for the trolley.
Yeah, what you have seen in the previous budgets were on the capital side for the purchase of the
Correct.
trolleys. So the trolley expenses on the personnel side are in the personnel costs of the administration.
So we're not expecting any more capital expenses?
No, sir.
What was the 20K in 2018 for again? I had thought that was for a storage area for the trolleys.
That would be under.
Sorry, that's off the cuff, but
No, so the storage area out at the Department of Public Works was for something else. The trolleys are currently housed over at the Star Center.
but
Yeah,
this
the
was under trolleys though, sir.
The gymnasium, I'm sorry.
This was 20K under the budget for trolleys in 2018.
That was the additional money for the 4th trolley, correct? Yes. Yeah.
Huh.
So we had originally ordered, we started at 2, then we went 3,
Right.
and then we wound up with 4. But all that was for capital costs to get the trolleys here.
Okay.
Operationally, it's in the administrative budget.
Yeah, just, that was kind of confusing in there when I went back through. Thank you so much for clearing that up, Chief of Staff, or Director of Administration. So we're going to house the trolleys at the Star Center?
So for the period in which they're going to be operational, they'll be over at the Star Center. That's where we set up a charging station. In the wintertime, they actually go out to Acer, one of the businesses out in the industrial park, and they're parked inside on a trickle charge.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so we are looking at some renovations down at the visitor center, in which that will, some of those renovations will include a shelter for the summer, again, while they're operational down at the visitor center and not over at the Star Center.
Do we have custody full now of the Star Center?
Yes, sir.
So it's coming off the solar grid that you guys did a fantastic job in getting the city on?
Maybe I misunderstood. What did you say? Do we have custody?
Yeah, full custody.
We have full custody, but it is not on the solar grid.
Oh. Thank you. That is the perfect answer that I would like to hear. It's a proud feather in the city's cap, and it's something I brag about to other people all the time.
It's based on the solar grid's capacity to take us on, not necessarily us just wanting to jump on the grid. They have to have capacity out there.
I know, power's easy as pie sometimes. Let's see. I have some facts. I put together some numbers. I was talking to a couple of the city ambassadors, and I went to the website, and it's very nice. 2,464 riders as of the 13th of June. Mary, you were spot on. If you got it, people would ride. That works out to 205.833 a day, so we'll just call that 206 people a day. Roughly 14 per hour. That's excellent. Maybe 14.5, so again, 15 as we round up. 1,568.5 miles, or 130 miles per day around the city. That's pretty excellent. That's like trip 65 times. 174 operating hours across 12 days, 14.5 hours a day. I am a little bit sad, though. We went out to Market Street for Father's Day brunch, got our crabs, got our fish and chips, soaked it, and we were planning on riding a trolley with the grandkids after we made it to Bomb Boys. No trolley. So it's kind of sad that it ended, even though we'd seen it cross before we got. It would have been nice to take the grandkids on it and just watch them have a great time. We really liked the trolley. We took it around with Fred and Julie and Don and a couple other people, and it was awesome. We would like to note that on our way back to the house, we did see 3 younger males. They did not look like they were causing any damage, but they were sitting on the trolleys on the 19th at about 20:05 p.m. or 8:05 p.m. I don't think they were city ambassadors, so maybe keep an eye out and just make sure our stuff is good to go for people and not, flattened or anything, because it really is a gift and it was a blast riding it. Thank you so much for listening to me, and have a good night.
Thank you very much, Mr. Smith.
Thank you again.
I'd like to call forward Mr. Mike Jones. Good evening, Mr. Jones, and welcome to the meeting. May you please have your name and address for the record.
Good evening. Thank you. My name is Mike Jones, 625 South Washington.
Welcome.
Thank you. My wife and I are renovating. We hope we're doing justice to the house. A few months ago, I raised a question with the staff about capital connection charge fees that were due because we were adding additional fixtures to the house. My question was simple in that if my meter is only capable of supporting X fixtures, whether I add twice as many, 3 times as many, or an infinite number, it's still only capable of X fixtures. So the question is, what's the impact? How is the demand calculated? And I have yet to receive an answer, and I figured since I got a stop work order today, this would be a good forum to actually get to the bottom of it and try and resolve this.
Sure, Mr. Jones. In addition to the capacity of the meter is also the bigger issue of the city ordinance that deals with the number of fixtures and the load onto the city capacity.
Correct. And I've asked for those calculations and have yet to get them. But I did get a response for submit your request through a Maryland Public Information Act, which seems kind of silly given the fact that the city's been so engaging and so helpful through this whole process. I was shocked by the letter this afternoon, and then 5 minutes later, or 5 minutes before, I get the stop work order, which even is more concerning. So I understand the city ordinance. I understand there's calculations in the city ordinance. I just want to see the calculations. I'm not necessarily opposed to the fees, but I haven't seen the calculations.
Steve, would you or April like to answer this?
Yeah, so the actual worksheet, we provided that to Mr. Jones. The Yes, sir. So I had a meeting with Mr. Jones maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago. And his concern was that pretty much what he was stating. And my response to him was we used a same fixture count form that Harford County uses. And the fixture count was exceeded the amount for what we consider a normal unit. Mr. Jones then, I think, sent subsequent emails, I think, to Mr. Whitty, requesting pipe sizes, dimensions, and as recently as today or yesterday, the meter size. So within the way that we calculate fixture, the way we calculate usage is primarily just with the fixture count form. We don't take into consideration what the meter is. We don't take into consideration what the piping is. But I apologize to you, Mr. Jones, because I thought the actual fixture count form that we used was provided. That can be provided to you first thing in the morning. That's not going to, I think, change anything as far as the count that we use for when you get to, and forgive me because I don't do this every day, I don't know the actual numbers, but once you exceed a certain fixture count, then you... 30. Okay. So you will then, with Mr. Woody's form, be able to see the actual values of the fixtures that were in there and what the conversion is to get to that over 30 number.
That does not answer the question I'm asking. The question I'm asking is, if the meter that's currently there is capable of supporting 30, I got a stop work order on me now. I mean, when is a good time?
Well, I guess I have an opportunity to prepare an argument for you to prepare
No.
When
prepared to do that right today. And I'll take care of it and get something.
can we postpone the stop work order until you're ready?
That's not my call. I don't issue.
Whose call is it?
Mayor, may I say?
Mr. Shaq, go ahead.
Yeah, yes. So my understanding of the way this all was taken care of was that there was a determination of the fees. There was a Board of Appeals hearing. The Board of Appeals said once all the fees are paid, then the work can continue. The city does not have the authority to do anything other than follow what the Board of Appeals did. The Board of Appeals is wait, let me finish, is a separate entity. There's a process to appeal that. And you can get whatever information you need for purpose of the appeal through a Public Information Act request, okay? And you prefer to calculate the usage is not how the city does it. The city gets to determine how its ordinances and code are interpreted. If you have a problem with that, the place to get that resolved is through the Circuit Court of Harford County, not the City Council.
So
This is not the body to do it.
based on your comments, that if I withdraw my request for cottage dwelling, then this goes away.
Well, my understanding is the only reason to have this, the whole point of having this,
Getting this, we're using Harford County, we're counting fixtures, and now it's a cottage dwelling. I'm a little confused here.
if my understanding is, regardless of whether it's a cottage dwelling or addition to the home, it's going to require an additional fixture count. Mr. Whitty can clarify that if I'm incorrect.
That is correct. Basically, what you've done is set up a separate apartment within the, so you have a residence and an additional
Correct.
apartment. That sets you over fixture count, so requires a capital recovery. Regardless, of the matter of fact, we've had a number of cases where people set up a retirement home for their and a retirement home for their in-laws, and they set up the exact same situation that you've set up. We go through the fixture counts, and they come up with an above 30, and they pay it. We're consistent with that, and you fall into that same category. So regardless of whether it's a cottage injury or it's a mother-in-law apartment, you fall under you've exceeded the fixture count of 30 for the original home, and you need to meet the next capital recovery charges.
I guess we're getting off topic, and maybe this isn't the venue, so if it's not the
told you
venue,
that.
can we agree to suspend the stop work order until we have this conversation?
If I can chime in just for a second. So although I'm new to the city, we had Marissa Willis in our department put together the list of emails and conversations that she's had with Mr. Jones over time. This conversation started in February, and there's been a lot of emails back and forth letting him know about the fees. He still went forward with the Board of Appeals hearing. They made their decision and told him again. Then he's had conversations with Mr. Gamatoria, and here tonight, I mean, there's been 4 months, 5 months of documented conversations of the fixture situation and the need to pay the fees. So, I mean, while I do sympathize with you a little bit, I mean, this isn't something out of the blue.
Oh, I'm not saying it is.
So, I mean, my personal recommendation would be to continue with the stop work order until we can resolve this, because without the stop work order, it's went 4 months now, 5 months, without coming in and having some sort of resolution on the matter.
Mr. Jones, to start with, I do want to commend you on doing a phenomenal job on that property.
Thank you.
There's no one in the city that is more grateful, I mean, what you've done. Thank you.
Thank you.
But I will say, for this city to issue a stop work order, which is rare, for this administration to issue a stop work order, I can tell you that we've hit probably the threshold point where we have to have compliance, or we'll have to work this out. We just don't issue stop work orders willy-nilly as we're pulling out tissue boxes. I mean, that is, I'm sure for what Mr. Boissier said, and the city attorney, and Mr. Whitty and Mr. Gamatoria, I know they've been talking to you, they've been working with you. My advice is just to meet with them tomorrow and work it out, because as sooner or later we have to have compliance. As Mr. Whitty said, you exceeded the fixture count. We have laws, we have an ordinance. And you're addressing the body that makes the laws of the city here. And my job is to enforce those laws. I don't know what else to say other than that. I'm sorry that the stop work order was issued, but we have to resolve this. Mr. Gamatoria.
Thank you, Mayor. And just to your point, as long as I've been involved with the administration, we have never ordered a stop work order, because we have seemed to come to some
Welcome to the neighborhood.
some give and take. As I said to Mr. Jones when he first came in, he said clearly he wasn't going to pay the fees, and I said, well, I can't issue the permit, and the tiger can continue to chase the tail. I will have Mr. Woody forward you the fixture count worksheet tomorrow. And really, that's the best we can do at this point to hope that this will resolve the issue. If there's anything that in the back of your mind where you're still not willing to pay the fixture count based on, or pay the fee based on the fixture count worksheet, then the only other place to resolve it's the circuit court, because we are interpreting and enforcing the law as we have since this whole fixture count and the capital cost recovery fee came into effect, and that was prior to my tenure, I think, on council back in 2006.
So just so I know, you're saying that the demand placed on the system is solely based on the fixture count
What I'm saying is,
submitted by the meter?
no, sir, what I'm saying is once, that's true, it doesn't matter what size meter you have, it is based on the worksheet of Harford County, and when you exceed that fixture count, then you go to the next EDU, which is an additional $18,500. And that's the way it's been since I've been here and prior to me in this position and other positions within.
I thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Okay, that's all the pre-filled out forms I have. I'll call the audience at large who wishes to address the council. Yes, ma'am. Good evening, Ms. Murphy. Welcome. May we please have your name and address for the record?
Evening. Cam Murphy, 564 Green Street. They asked me that when I go to the doctors to make sure my brain is.
Welcome.
I just want to remind everyone that we are having the Ernest Burke birthday party on June 25th from 1 to 4 at Tidings Park. And it's going to be a kind of a fun day with some games and instructions and stuff, and plenty of good food like popcorn bowls and water, and of course the birthday cake, which we will serve around 3 o'clock. And I want to report that there may be a national baseball trail that's being established from Ripken Stadium to Cooperstown. And I'm hoping that the Ernest Burke statue will be included in that trail. And that'll be a big boon, I think, to Havre Grace. Of course, by that time, I hope we can have a little bit of an upgrade to the area around the statue, have something interactive, something more telling the story of Ernest Burke. So, always asking for something, Mr. Mayor. Thank you very much.
This Saturday, 1 to 5?
1 to 4.
1 to 4. Okay, Tidings Park. Thank you very much, Ms. Murphy. Anyone else that wish to address the council? Okay, any questions, comments from the council? All right, we will move on. Item 7 is going to be appointments. We do have a handful of appointments this evening. See here, Arts Commission, we have seven reappointments, and I'm going to hand this off to Councilmember Zinner. If you wish, you can do them all at once or individually. It's your call.
All at once, it's fine.
All at once? Okay, go ahead, Councilmember Zinner.
Okay. I make a motion to reappoint the following members to the Arts Commission: Dina Cardwell, Pat Fair, Karen Foley, Winona Hilton Stanley, Wendy Hurst, Christy Silverstein, and Amy Steelman.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Zinner, second by Councilmember Robertson, for reappointment of Ms. Dina Caldwell, Pat Fair, Carolyn Foley, Wina Stanley, Wendy Hurst, Christy Silverstein, Amy Stillman. Questions or comments for the reappointments? Councilmember Zinner.
Yes, I would just like to thank these 7 women for coming forward and agreeing to be reappointed for another term. For some of them, it's their second term, and for a couple, it may be as many as 6 terms. So the city is very grateful for your participation in the Arts Commission and the programs that you sponsor throughout the year, especially what we're experiencing now, the concerts in the park. So I just want to thank all of you for agreeing to be reappointed to the commission. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Zinner. Any other questions or comments? Well, I do know that Ms. Fair has been on there since 1989, when the Arts Commission was created by ordinance. So that's pretty impressive. So we do have a lot of commitment and loyalty there, so that's good. All right, without any further questions or comments on the reappointments to the Arts Commission, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Reappointment to the Arts Commission, Ms. Caldwell, Mrs. Fair, Ms. Foley, Ms. Hilton Stanley, Ms. Hurst, Ms. Silverstein, Ms. Steelman. Carries 6-0 in the affirmative. We're going to go to Historic Preservation Commission, and that is also Councilmember Zinner.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I make a motion to reappoint Mr. Kevin Purcell to the Historic Preservation Commission.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Zinner. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by the Council President. This is for the reappointment of Kevin Purcell to the Historic Preservation Commission. Questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The reappointment of Mr. Purcell is approved by council, 6-0 in the affirmative. Item 8, recognitions. This evening we have no recognitions. Item 9, proclamations. This evening we have no proclamations. Item 10, presentations. We have none. Takes us to item 11, resolutions. We have 2 resolutions on the calendar. Both of them deal with license agreements, and I'll hand this off to the chair of the Planning Committee, Councilmember Shenegas.
Thank you, Mayor. I move to introduce calendar resolution concerning a license agreement for a porch, stairs, and planter box at 117 South Adams Street.
Thank you very much, Councilman Shenegas. I have a motion. Do I have a second? Second by the Council President. Questions or comments? This is a motion to introduce a resolution. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce calendar resolution carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Madam Secretary, can you please assign this resolution a number and read the header into the record?
Yes, this is Resolution 2022-17, a resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, pursuant to Sections 33 and 34 of the City Charter and the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland for approval of a license agreement for the replacement of a porch and stairs and installation of a planter box at 117 South Adams Street, right-of-way, and to authorize the mayor to execute such license.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Council, to have a motion to adopt Resolution 2022-17.
So move.
Have a motion by Councilmember Zinner,
Second.
second by Councilmember Shenegas. Questions or comments on the resolution? Okay, Council, it's a resolution. I'm going to do a roll call vote. Councilmember Zinner, how say you?
Yes.
Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenegas?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson?
Aye.
Council President?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, license agreement for a porch, stairs, and planter box at 117 South Adams Street is approved by council. Item B, calendar resolution concerning a license agreement for 720 Erie Street. And once again, we'll hand this off to the chair of the Planning Committee, Councilmember Shenegas.
Thanks again, Mayor. I move to introduce calendar resolution concerning a license agreement for a landing and stairs at 720 Erie Street.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Shenega, second by Councilmember Robertson. This is a motion to approve a license agreement. Questions or comments on the introduction of this resolution? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Calendar resolution carries. The introduction of calendar resolution for 720 Erie Street carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Madam Secretary, can you please assign this resolution a number and read a header into the record?
This is Resolution Number 2022-18, a resolution by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace, Maryland, pursuant to Sections 33 and 34 of the City Charter and the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland for approval of a license agreement for the removal and replacement of landing and stairs at 720 Erie Street right-of-way, and to authorize the mayor to execute such license.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Council, I have a motion to adopt the resolution 2022-18.
So moved.
Motion by the Council President. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Martin. Questions or comments on question or comments on the license agreement resolution? Council, I'll do a roll call vote. Councilmember Robertson.
Aye.
Councilmember Shenega.
Yes.
Council President Ringsager.
Yes.
Councilmember Martin.
Yes.
Councilmember Zinner.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer.
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative. License agreement, a counter resolution concerning a license agreement for a landing and stairs at 720 Erie Street is approved by council. Item 12, ordinances. This evening we have two ordinances. We have a second reading and we have a first reading. The second reading is going to be on ordinance 1078, which is the budget. And I will hand that off to the chair of the Finance Committee for introduction. It's going to be Councilmember Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, I move to introduce on second reading ordinance number 1078, establishing the FY 2023 budget.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilmember Robertson and it's seconded by Councilmember Martin. This is a motion to introduce ordinance 1078 on second reading. Questions or comments on the introduction of this ordinance? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The introduction of ordinance 1078 for second reading carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Madam Secretary, could you please read the header of this ordinance into the record?
Yes, an ordinance by the Mayor and City Council of Havre de Grace by the authority of Article 11-E of the Maryland Constitution, the Local Government Article of the Annotated Code of Maryland, and Section 37 of the Havre de Grace City Charter, for the purpose of establishing the city budget for fiscal year 2023. By designating the annual projection of anticipated revenues and proposed authorized expenses for the city of Havre de Grace for fiscal year 2023.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Council, I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1078 on second reading.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilmember Shenega. I'm sorry. A motion by Councilmember Zinner, second by Councilmember Shenega. Thank you very much. Okay, sorry about that. And questions or comments on ordinance 1078? Okay, Council, we're going to do a roll call vote on this ordinance. Councilmember Martin?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
Councilmember Robertson?
Yes.
Councilmember Zinner?
Yes.
Council President Ringsager?
Yes.
Councilmember Shenega?
Yes.
By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, ordinance 1078 regarding 2023 fiscal budget is approved by council. Item B, ordinance concerning repealing Chapter 25, Article 8, Employee Benefits and Compensation Commission. This is going to be a first reading, and we're going to hand this off to the council president.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I make a motion to introduce an ordinance concerning repealing Chapter 25, Article 13, Employee Benefits and Compensation Commission for first reading.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by council president, seconded by Councilmember Martin. Questions or comments on the introduction of this ordinance? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to introduce an ordinance carries 6-0 in the affirmative. Madam Secretary, Could you please assign this ordinance a number and read the header into the record, please?
This is ordinance 1079, an ordinance by the mayor and city council of Havre, Grace, Maryland, adopted pursuant to the authority of Article 11E of the Maryland Constitution, the local government article of the annotated code of Maryland, and sections 33 and 34 of the Havre, Grace City Charter, to repeal ordinance number 992, and therefore repealing Article 13 of the City Code 25, boards, committees, and commissions.
Thank you very much, Madam Secretary. Council, do I have a motion to adopt ordinance 1079 on first reading?
So moved. Second.
Councilmember Martin and Councilmember Robertson?
That's it.
Did you?
No.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry.
Carolyn.
Councilmember Martin and,
Well, Carolyn said it first.
couldn't hear.
Give it to Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Carolyn, did you make a motion on that?
I did.
also? Okay, we'll give it to Councilmember Martin, and I'll give you, Carolyn, I'll give you the second, all right?
We're having trouble with voices tonight.
I know, well, it doesn't help that I'm already half deaf to begin with, so we're gonna get this a lot. Okay, motion by Councilmember Martin, seconded by Councilmember Zinner, and questions or comments on ordinance 1079? Want to thumb wrestle?
Sure, yeah. We'll
Council-
let the
Council
council
President.
president.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I've been on we call it Wage and Benefits, but it's the Employee Benefits and Compensation Commission since it started. And we've done a lot of good things for the city. We were able to right-size a bunch of positions and find ways to save money. I think the first year we saved $350,000. And we found ways to save employee costs. Like we're not paying, OPEBs, the post-employment benefits for the people who mow the lawn now, because we use a lawn service to mow the lawn versus having city employees do that. So we're able to use our city employees for other things, and we don't have to pay the lawn services retirement. Stuff like that has saved us a bunch of money for the city that we can use for other things. And I think we've outlived the usefulness of the commission. Maybe in the future, if we have an issue, we can reform it, but I do recommend that this ordinance go through and we decommission the commission.
Okay.
There we go.
Good explanation, thank you very much, Council President. Any other questions or comments? Councilmember Zinner?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just also wanted to add to Council President's comments. One of the big things that was done early on, actually before my tenure on the commission, was the employee handbook. And that was Chris Ritchie, a lot of Chris Ritchie's work to put that together, including job descriptions. The other things that were more current were to define positions more equitably, to define pay tiers and promotion criteria for the police department, and to also settle with the civilian employees a tier system as well, where and define ways where they could increase their job skills by moving up into other positions or getting other training, and also improve their wages at the same time by taking on those additional skills. So I think the Commission's done a wonderful job, at least the part that I'm most familiar with, but certainly everyone on the Commission had something to say and something to contribute. So I'm proud that I was part of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Zinner. Councilmember Robertson?
How long has Chris Ritchie been with the city?
5 years?
2017?
Yeah, I thought it was since I've been here, but I think I just want to give a shout out to him as a staff member. I think he's done a phenomenal job there. And is he still studying his PhD in HR, or has he completed it?
He still is working on his dissertation.
Yeah, so that's pretty incredible. You folks at home understand that your tax dollars are being spent wisely with some really A-plus people here at City Hall. So not take anything away from the commission.
Sure.
The commission has definitely served a vital role, and everything in the city runs off of volunteers, as we all know. But I just wanted to give a shout out to Chris and say thank you for all that he's done as well.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. Any other questions or comments? Before I do the roll call vote, I just want to just kind of tail end off of what all the comments were about the Wage and Benefit Commission. When this administration began in 2015, you know, any organization's greatest cost is always their workforce. And, you know, workforce is important. I mean, sometimes, you know, the citizens don't care how something gets done as long as something gets done. But when you're in City Hall and you have to balance budgets every year, and you try to extrapolate, you know, a 1, 3, 5, 7, 9-year plan as to what your organization is going to look like down the road, what the tax burden could be projected onto the citizens. There's a lot of things we wanted to get our hands around, especially in 2015. We were on our way out of the 2008 recession. And so, like I said, we just wanted to know, as Council President said, we wanted to right size this organization and make sure that, you know, could we combine, you know, employees to this area? Could we, you know, not have employees in that area? Like I said, we contract a lot of things out to save the city money. Post-employment benefits is something you have to consider a lot of times too, with retirements. So we formed this commission, and I remember Council President Gamatori at the time was the author of this commission, this ordinance. And we had some really good people on it. We had citizens that had a background in, you know, Social Security. We had citizens that had a background in healthcare. All the citizens on this commission specialized in something in the private sector. And then, of course, on the city side, we had, you know, our finance director was involved in it, and HR director, and as Councilman Robertson said, you know, Mr. Ritchie, who's our HR director, is you know, has a lot of talent. And so everybody came to the table to figure out how we can move this city forward with executing the jobs that are expected of government without having an unreasonable projection of tax burden in the future. So again, we believe that we came to a good place in the last 7 years with our police department and our civilian side. And again, I mean, this ordinance is to basically decommission the Wage and Benefit Commission, but it's kind of like being mothballed. Perhaps another administration 10, 15 years down the road can just dust off what was already written and reestablish it if it's necessary. So, but anyway, I commend council with taking the approach of re-examining the need for it, because sometimes not every commission needs to exist forever. You know, they have a purpose, they execute their purpose, and you move on. So, but to decommission a commission, you have to do it since a law created it, a law has to take it away. So, anyway, thank you very much, council, for your consideration. And so we have a motion by Councilmember Martin, second by Councilmember Zinner. This is a motion to adopt Ordinance 1079 on first reading. I'm going to do a roll call vote. Councilmember Robertson, House C.
Aye.
Councilmember Zinner.
Yes.
Councilmember Martin.
Yes.
CP.
Yes.
Councilmember Shanegas.
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer. Yes. By roll call vote of 6-0 in the affirmative, Ordinance 1079, repealing the Wage and Benefits Commission, is adopted on first reading. Council President Ringsacher, how would a public hearing on this on July 5th sound?
Sounds wonderful. 7 o'clock?
7 o'clock, proceeding to council meeting. Okay, public hearing for 1079 will occur prior to the next council meeting here at the City Hall, 7 o'clock on July 5th. We're going to go to item 14, which is old business. This evening we have no old business. Item 14, new business, we have a couple things, and we're going to start with a budget amendment, which I'm going to hand off to the chair of the Budget Finance Committee, which is going to be Councilman Robertson.
Yeah, not wage and benefits. We just did away with that. Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, I move to approve Budget Amendment 2022-21.
Second.
Council, I have a motion by Councilman Robertson, second by Councilman Martin. This is a budget amendment 2022-21. Questions or comments? Councilman Robertson.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Ladies and gentlemen here and at home, you'll notice in the FY23 budget, which we just passed, there is a line item for the visitor center rehab that'll be taking place due to ARPA funding. This budget amendment for right now in the current fiscal year 22 is to utilize some of the DHCD grant funding to go ahead and get that project started. So the idea was to go ahead and get it done or get it moving this month instead of just waiting until next month.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
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 All opposed say nay. Budget Amendment 2022-21 carries 6-0 in the affirmative. And Councilmember Robertson, would you do us the honor of reading the numbers into the record?
It'll be my pleasure, Mr. Mayor. In the from column, account number 01-0001-46-04, outside contributions, $81,000. In the to column, account number 01-1251-7102, visitor center rehabilitation, $81,000.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. Mr. DeHorty, everything square? Thank you very much, Mr. DeHorty. Thank you, Council. We're going to go to item B, special events. This evening, we have 2 special events to be approved. We have the Pyrex Festival and the Oktoberfest. And so I'd like to hand that off to Director of Administration.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and Council. Before you this evening, we have 2 special event applications. The first, a recurring event each year, that's very successful, is the Pyrex and Vintage Fest. The on-site contact person is Jolene Forrester. It'll be, it's a festival in the downtown area. It'll be located on the two blocks of Pennington Avenue between Lodge Lane and St. John Street. Its setup is on the 17th. It actually starts at 9 a.m. that same morning, ends at 4 p.m. Anticipated attendance is about 1,200 people. There will be food service at the location, no alcohol. There is a site map at the in the rear of your packet. Nothing really changed from previous years. Jolene, as she does each year, she gets a buy-in from those merchants that will be impacted, so she has a sign-off sheet included, and the last page is the call sheet. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Gambatoria. Council, I have a motion to approve the Pyrex and Vintage Fest for December 17th.
Moved.
Councilmember Robertson, seconded by Council President. Questions or comments on the event? Councilmember Robertson.
I've, watched this event grow over the years, and, Jolene just always does a fabulous job. It's one of the signature things that she does to really draw a unique crowd to Havre de Grace. And I'm very much appreciative and supportive of what our downtown merchants do, and thank you for the Alliance for stepping up and partnering with her to do that.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Robertson. Any other questions or comments? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The Pyrex and Vintage Fest for December 17, 2022 is approved, 6-0 in the affirmative. Mr. Gambatoria.
Thank you, Mayor. Council, the second event application is for the Havre de Grace Oktoberfest. This is a event down at Concord Point Park, sponsored by the City of Havre de Grace and the Havre de Grace Masons. The contact person will be Mr. Ed Brzezinski, and on-site person, Bambi Johnson. The setup is on the 15th of October, starting at 10 a.m. The event will begin at noon and will end at 7 o'clock. Anticipated attendance is about 5,000. Within the application, both food and alcohol will be served. There's a site map of Concord Point. And also, I'd like to point out on the call sheet, there is an error. And if you would go to the call sheet for the Department of Public Works, yours may say 0. And in fact, it's $3,016.72 for a grand combined total with the PD, $8,101.72. There was, during the printing, some of the cells printed, some didn't. My particular packet did not have it. However, Ms. Johnson's and Ms. Brinkman's did. So if you don't have it, those are the actual numbers. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gamatoria. Council to have a motion to approve the Oktoberfest.
So moved.
Second?
Motion by the council president, seconded by Councilmember Shenanigans. Questions or comment on the event? Council President.
Mr. Mayor, I will say that I will happily not be coaching football, so I can actually make it to the Oktoberfest on time this year.
Be wonderful to have you there on
Be
time.
wonderful.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Well done. Well said. Anybody else? Okay, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. The Havre Grace Oktoberfest for October 15, 2022, with a rain date of October 16, 2022, carries 6-0 in the affirmative. We're going to go to item 15, which is the reports from the directors. And we're going to start off with the Director of Administration, Mr. Gamatoria.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd just like to thank council and staff, and especially Mr. Doherty, on their work with the budget. It seems like it's a long process, but actually it's not. It is more for us on the staff side of getting all the numbers together, and primarily the finance department. So thank you, Mr. Doherty, and thank you, council, for having the faith in the administration and passing the budget. Secondly, I too, Mr. Mayor, would like to congratulate the members that have been on the Wage and Benefits Commission. That was one of your first tasks, I think, to the council as a new mayor, and I was happy to oblige you as the council president at that time. And just the folks that came through and served on that commission, most of them for about the whole time of the commission's existence. A wonderful job. Prior to Mr. Ritchie coming on board, we had Mrs. Packard, who was a member of the commission, and she brought in expertise from the HR field of more than 40 years in industry, so that was very helpful, and we're thankful to all of them for that. And then lastly, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Whitty, and I'll miss him at future council meetings as the new city engineer. He won't be attending the meetings. And I will be sure on Tuesday mornings, Mr. Woody, to reach out to you to make sure that you're up to speed and didn't miss a beat as far as what went on at the council meetings. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gamatoria. So, okay, we're going to go to Tim Boissier, Director of Planning. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mayor, Council President, council members. I just have a few things this evening. I met with my counterpart at the county. We're working to hopefully modernize our permit system, make things more electronic, have less waste, improve our workflow, that sort of thing. So we're at a very preliminary stage, but we are already using some county software, so we're maybe looking to work with them further than what we are now. I also met with some people at the Maryland Municipal League conference that sell the different softwares for these things, just collecting information. So in that respect, MML was very useful for some of the ideas I have going forward to improve that system. The main goal of that really is to spend less time pushing paper and having more time being able to provide customer service to the people of the community. So we're looking forward to moving forward with that here in the near future. I had a good meeting with Council President Ringsocker last week. We discussed the Airbnb and short-term rental moratorium, how we're going to go forward with that. We also discussed cottage dwellings, accessory dwelling units, and where we are with the comprehensive plan. So we discussed a couple workshops in the near future to provide some more information and get some more feedback from all of you on those things. So we're looking forward to doing all of that with you. With the comprehensive plan, pretty soon we should be rolling out our story maps for each of the elements of those plans. They're basically mini web pages that kind of push people from the community, try to inspire them and to think about the different issues that are in the comprehensive plan and provide input to sort of be the drive for our comprehensive plan going forward. Diane Claire's been working really hard on that along with our Myra and our GIS staff, so that's going forward really well. When we have some more information on that, we're going to let the public know, but we're working hard on those things and they're looking really good. And we look forward to all of you seeing those. And just last thing, a reminder, on July 5th, the permit window will be open from 9 until 5. From 8 until 9, we'll be doing some more clerical work and catching up on some things. So we won't have that window open for that first hour during the day to accept permits and provide customer service on those items. That'll be from 9 until 5 during the week, starting on July 5th. That's it for me.
Thank you very much, Tim. Appreciate it. Thank you. We're going to reach out now to our Director of Finance, Mr. George Doherty. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, council, citizens. First, I'd like to echo the Director of Administration in congratulating the Wage and Benefits Commission. And I think one of the things that didn't get said that we did, where we were at the front end, while everybody else was defunding the police, we were trying to restructure it to make it an attractive place for the best of the police force to move forward. And thank you, Chief, for all your input into that. I also want to thank the council for approving budget for 2023. It'll be nice to be able to turn on the lights come July 1. I appreciate that. And Budget Amendment 2022-21. This will allow us, give us the official authority to start spending the state monies that have to, and hopefully make some other funds available, provided supply chain issues and the right don't drive the price up, but which we're hopeful the faster we act, the less likely that will be to happen. And so we're trying to move forward on that as well. In terms of the current situation of the major funds, the general fund is sitting at a balance of just under $1.95 million, which is about 2.75 ahead of where we thought we'd be. It's down a little bit, about $110,000 from my last report in terms of how far ahead of the budget, but that will likely swing wildly as we finish out the year, as it does every year. But we seem to be in an extraordinarily strong position as we got through the year, and to that I want to thank all my peers, directors, for being fiscally responsible, I think the word is, and I just don't want that to go unnoticed. The Water Sewer Fund has a fund balance of just almost $600,000, and it has increased $1.3 million plus during the year. The operating profit is sitting at $1.55 million at 3.2, almost 3.3 of capital fees for the year. Bond proceeds of 2.75 to help pay for capital projects. And we've spent $6.2 million in capital projects already this year, with the fund still growing. So ARPA has a lot to do with that, but it's very, again, financially very strong and very sound. The Marina Fund is sitting at a fund balance of a little over $1 million. It has increased $90,000 for the year. We've had an operating profit of $216,000, and we've spent net of grants and the like $126,000 on capital projects to help upgrade the marina during the year, and that's why the increase is only $90,000. And those are the current conditions of the three major funds of the city, sir. And I will open it up for any questions.
Council, does anybody have questions for Mr. Doherty?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Doherty. Good evening, Mr. Woody.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. A couple things here. So for the downtown revitalization, we've received the bids for the engineering design for the water line replacement. I'll be reviewing those tomorrow and probably be making an award before the end of the week concerning the design of that. For the sewer replacement, we had a pre-bid meeting last Friday, and we're going straight with the contractors on that one, since we went ahead and had the lines cambered, and just go ahead and just go. There won't be the necessity for engineering. Just go right into the contractors, and we'll work with lining and replacement. About 2 blocks of the existing sewer line need to be replaced. So I think there's a block on St. John and then a block on Washington Street that will have to be dug up and replaced. As part of both projects with the water line replacement, we'll be replacing all the sewer laterals and water services as well, and probably upgrading the meters. Wilson Street, we're struggling with supply issues, but we're slowly getting that water line replacement project completed, and we'll be moving on to Green Street, and that's the last of the 3 for this fiscal year that we'll be working on. The other projects that we have identified are still at about 90% design, and we finish those up. Lafayette and Erie Street sewer rehab are underway. We have the Water Street project moving forward, obviously. We're knocking it out pretty well. They went ahead and pretty much got working on at the Tidewater grill, working on that portion, and we'll complete in a couple areas and replanting and sanding up. A discharge permit at the wastewater treatment plant, we're working on completing that. That has to be submitted by July 1. We completed the THM and HAA 5 testing for our water quality. For HAA 5, the lowest was at 15 parts per million. The highest was at 34, passing 60. And then for THMs, the lowest was 28. We had a high count of 58, but passing is 80. So we met all the requirements for that, and everything's fine as far as the operation goes there. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Woody. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor, Council.
I'm
I have
sorry.
a question for Mr. Woody.
I'm sorry, Chief. Hold on one second. Mr. Woody?
The paving on Lewis and Revolution, do we have an idea when that's going to be completed? Right now, it's just kind of roughed and it's...
Well, it's roughed in. We're just waiting on the, we have to get BG&E. There's an old gas line that we came upon. We have to get them to lower that about 6 inches to get the water line over, the storm drain over top of it. I think Patrick said they'll be coming out, I think it's the month of July to do the relocation and lowering the line. So that's kind of where we're at right now.
Now, are there going to be any markings to indicate that there's a right turn lane there? Because it looks kind of narrow to me, because we talked about that.
It's a full width. I mean, we're going to stripe the lane. There'll be a lane striping. I'm not necessarily going to put in a right turn arrow, but I'll designate the right turn lane on there with striping, white striping.
All right, because when we first talked about it, I just thought the right-of-way that we were being granted was a little bit larger on that grassy area. And as I go by there almost every day, it just seems that it's been cut short. And I don't know that if it's just a question of not having it paved and you have the different disparities.
I think that's what it is. I think I measured it from the center line and gave it two 11-foot lanes there.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Woody? Thank you, Mr. Woody.
Thank you.
Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor. I just want to remind folks, Somerset Manor is having their annual summer jam. It's a great affair that they have every summertime. It's almost like a community-type fair. They have games for kids. They have such as the moon bounce, face painting. They have music. But what I also like about it, they also have a lot of vendors there that also do health screening. They also offer different services to anybody in the community who wants to come out and take advantage of it. Like I said, it's Saturday the 25th, and it starts at 12 noon and goes to 4 p.m. It's on Stansbury Court here in Havre de Grace. Like I said, it's the Housing Authority. It's really a fun event, so I encourage everybody to come out and take advantage of what they have to offer. The other thing that I just want to mention today, it is, of course, with deep sadness that today we had to bury Wicomico County Deputy Sheriff Glenn Hilliard. He was killed on June the 12th, and like I said, he was laid to rest. And DFC Hilliard was an amazing person. He was a good man, a good husband, a good father, a good son, and he was also a very, very, very good law enforcement officer. So on behalf of the Havre de Grace Police Department, and I'm sure all the citizens of Havre de Grace, we will definitely keep DFC Hilliard, his family, and of course our colleagues at the Wicomico County Sheriff's Office in our thoughts and prayers. That will be it for me, Mayor.
Thank you very much, Chief, for your comments about Officer Hilliard. So we're going to go to comments from the mayor's office, a couple updates. One of the big things that embraced our city over the last week and this past weekend was the annual carnival. So I just want to give a congratulations to the members of the Independence Day Commission for hosting the carnival again this year. As many people know, the carnival proceeds, or a portion of it, goes to Independence Day Commission, and that money goes towards pulling off the parade every year that everyone has come to embrace over the last century. So the carnival is a very important part of the funding mechanism for the parade. Also want to thank the police department for being well-staffed and having a very positive presence at the carnival as well. I believe there are pretty much no real incidents to speak of.
No, sir. We had one minor one, and that was at the very end, and had nothing to do with the carnival.
Yeah, that's what I heard, two
Yeah,
ladies.
It was, yes.
Yeah,
and
okay.
it was handled very quickly.
Good, thank you very much. And like I say, I heard it was over before it began, and so, again, I mean, you know, whenever you bring a carnival into a town or an area, I mean, you're going to get thousands and thousands of people when you have an event from Tuesday to Saturday, and you know, luckily we've gotten to a point where the carnival has been a lot more tame, more mellow, and less incidences, and with that, you know, I know some people said to me, well, you know, the carnival's lame because there's no rides for big people, for adults. So, you know, I just politely say, you know, you got Hershey Park, you got Dorney Park, you got Kings Dominion, you got Six Flags, you got Ocean City. You know, my theory is when you have big rides, you have big problems, and little rides, little problems. So our theory, or at least, especially where the commission's coming from, they want to hold a family carnival, and ideally a carnival is something that, you know, welcomes children of an elementary school age, maybe a middle school age, with rides, and funnel cakes, and caramel apples, and skee ball for the adults to enjoy their kids with. And the carnival was reasonably priced. The food was reasonably priced, and the games, and thousands of people came, and they really seemed to enjoy themselves. So, you know, again, thank the Independence Day Commission, thank DPW, thank the police department for their presence. And, you know, so the Independence Day Commission looks forward to bringing a very fun-filled weekend coming up in a couple weeks, which is another thing I want to talk about. So Independence Day weekend is going to be, you know, the July 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. Friday, July 1st, we'll have First Fridays in our city. And so I'm sure it's going to be a very, very well-attended First Friday. We're looking forward to it. But don't forget, on Saturday is the Spirit of America, which is going to be July 2nd. And so, hold on 1 second, I got details here. Okay. All right. So the Spirit of America is going to be held downtown on July 2nd. Last year was the first time they did it. And so it's going to be great. There'll be, you know, all kind of vendors set up. It's kind of be almost like a First Friday-esque kind of setup in downtown, but there'll be all kind of, you know, Uncle Sam characters and boxcar races and all kind of cool things going on down for the Spirit of America. So please come down, bring your family on Saturday, July 2nd. Also, on Sunday, July 3rd is the big day. That will be the parade and the fireworks. So the parade will be on Sunday, July 3rd this year, and the fireworks will take place that evening when it gets dark, like, I don't know what, 9 o'clock, 9:15. But there is a rain date for the fireworks, and the rain date for the fireworks is July 4th. So in case it gets rained out on the evening of the 3rd, just know that you can still see the fireworks the next evening on Monday night, which is July 4th. So a lot of stuff happening in the city of Havre de Grace that weekend. Again, First Fridays on Friday, Spirit of America celebration downtown on July 2nd, and parade and fireworks on July 3rd. And as always, you know, if you can't find a place to park, you can park remotely, maybe the new parking lot where the old high school was, and jump on the trolley. And the trolley will take you downtown city of Havre de Grace. It will be running all weekend. And with that said, some trolley updates. Trolley has now operated over 4 weekends, 3 days each weekend. 174 total operating hours, 2,632 passengers, a total of 1,580 miles, almost from here to Denver, Colorado. We got, so far, knock on wood, no reported traffic safety issues. We have excellent drivers, well trained. And we're averaging 219 passengers a day, and we're averaging 132 miles travel per day. So far, the trolleys have really exceeded our initial expectations for patrons traveling on them. So people are parking remotely, which is what we encourage, whether you're parking at the Lock House or Hutchins Park or Tidings Park or the new parking lot where the old high school is. People know they can park there, they can jump on the trolley, and they can go anywhere in town they want to go to. And the nice thing is there's a good number of the riders that are citizens of Havre de Grace. So it's working out pretty good, and we'll continue to operate, and we'll operate next weekend, or it'll operate Independence Day weekend. And so I do want everyone to know that, here's a little side note. If you're planning on parking remotely and taking a trolley down to, let's say, Concord Point Park because you want to watch the fireworks, don't count on the trolley to bring you back. Because the traffic's so bad that it's only going to be a one trolley trip. I mean, the trolley's going to be in the same traffic everybody else is going to be. So, it'll operate from after, the trolleys will operate after the parade until probably around 8 o'clock at night. So if you need to get around to, the Hutchins Park for a concert or downtown to shop, or you want to go to a restaurant or get down to Concord Point, but the trolleys will not operate after the fireworks only because the traffic will be so tight in town. Trolleys will just move along slowly like everybody else. So it won't be rapid transportation. So just want to give everybody a heads up. But besides that, I just want to, one other thing. Mr. Whitty, this is probably your last meeting, right? For a while. I'm just kidding. Anyway, Mr. Whitty, I've mentioned in the previous council meeting, Mr. Whitty is taking a different role of the city. He's going to work as a reduced role. You're going to be the city planner and engineer, or the city engineer and plan reviewer. And so you'll still be here, still at City Hall for a few days a week. So, and we are working on the search process now for your replacement, which is not easy. It's hard to replace Mr. Whitty. So we're trying. We have people with PhDs and, degrees out the, wazoo, man, trying to find a replacement. But we'll find somebody. So anyway, but thank you for everything you've done. You, sir, and your team and staff have really advanced the city more than anyone can ever measure, especially what we've done down at the Maritime Museum and the things we've done with our water and sewer improvements, the water plant, and most importantly, what's going on right now with this shoreline restoration project from Water Street all the way down to, go ahead.
I would just like to say I'd like to thank you for that, because what we did with Water Street was risky. It's the first of its kind, and there aren't very many people in government that would support me and support my team and to be able to do this. It was in the council as well. I mean, it was a chancy project. It's the first of its kind, and just to have your support and kind of like just confidence to go at it and get it done meant a lot to myself and to the people that work with me. Just want to thank everyone here for that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Whitty. I appreciate it. And if you don't mind, I don't want to put you on the spot, but I was texting Mr. Whitty over the weekend. I went down to David Craig Park and checked out the progress of right now there's a ton of stone thrown into the river, and we killed all kind of SAV. I'm joking. That was everybody's big fear, but anyway, I was talking to you on text message, and you said it was probably the greatest project you've been involved with.
It is. It is one of the. It is for me. It's every time I go down there, I get very emotional about it, because every engineer wants to have something that they leave behind or some kind of big project. I entered hydrology because I thought I was gonna build dams, and they don't build them anymore. My timing was a little off by like 50 years. But this project really is one of those that just something to put on your resume. Just something that's just like just to be part of something that's never been done before. And this city is set the stone in place for other people to follow. It really is. I mean, people don't realize it, but this is the first project of this scale and its kind in the entire state of Maryland. and we're doing it here. And it's just a good feeling to be able to have the people and the support and the people and to help get the job done. I mean, I couldn't have done it without all the folks that were underneath with me and working with me as far as the plans and the permitting and the grants that we've gotten. It's just been a pleasure.
Well, Mr. Whitty, if it was easy, everybody would have done it by now. So, I know it took a lot of years to get everything planned out through the state. And, I know that the Army Corps of Engineers was the last hurdle we had to go through, and that took a long time and a lot of solicitation.
Over 2 years. I mean, it was over a 2-year project of banging your head against the wall. Finally got it done.
Well, it's pretty amazing. So I hope citizens are listening to this right now, and they take a little trip down to Water Street and to David Craig Park and just kind of walk out a little bit and then see what's going on. It's going to be an amazing improvement. And my dad always had a saying: the impossible we do right away, the unbelievable takes a little bit longer. So, and I think that's the mantra of this administration and council. So you had the idea, and it looked like it was going to work on paper. Good-looking maps 5 years ago, whatever it was. But anyway, it's coming to fruition, and we couldn't be more proud. And I'm glad that even with your new role, that you'll still be here to watch it to completion. So thank you for everything, Mr. Woody. We appreciate it, and looking forward to the future. And with that said, I'm going to hand off the comments here to my council, and we're going to start with Councilmember Zinner.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council, and citizens. I believe it was Councilmember Robertson this evening already said that the city runs on volunteers. So I want to congratulate those that were reappointed to the Arts and HBC commissions, but also a special thank you to the volunteers who served at the carnival this past week. The carnival owners do not have to staff the ticket booths, allowing the Independence Day to do that role, and therefore raise funds for the annual Independence Day parade. So it works as a fundraiser for the Independence Day Commission to fund the parade, as also a family-friendly event for not only our citizens but visitors alike. So I really want to thank them again, and also mention that we still need some volunteers for the parade. And you can send me an email to my city email address, and I will pass it on to the person who is filling in the spreadsheet that assigns volunteers to different corners and different sections. And we welcome all who want to participate in that. Thank Mr. Whitty for a couple years we worked together on the DPW committee, and for your service to the city, of course, and I imagine we'll still be seeing you, maybe not in that chair, but around in City Hall. So I want to do that. Then on a personal note, many of you know that my husband had a serious medical condition, and I just want to thank everyone in this community. It's such a warm and welcoming community who sent me emails, sent me cards, and offered me their thoughts and prayers for my husband's health and for myself, with guidance to take care of myself. Well, sometimes that's a little hard to do when you care for someone. So anyway, I do appreciate it, and I just want to thank you and tell you how much I appreciate that support and the caring of so many people in this community. And I'm originally from Pennsylvania, but this is home, so thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Zinner. Good evening, Councilmember Robertson.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, fellow council members, ladies and gentlemen here and at home. I too want to say, Tim, it's been a pleasure working with you. I know that you've really answered any questions that I've had, and with thoughtful responses and emails, and made things easy to digest and bite-sized that we could communicate with the public. So I really appreciate that. And the Shoreline project is huge, man. What a swan song, I think what hasn't been mentioned yet is that we'll be the first locality, not just municipality, but locality in the state of Maryland to meet the MDE requirements, right, for
This
stormwater?
project will allow us to meet the MS4 20% restoration requirements, yes. We will be the first municipality actually to do that. A lot of people need it, but they give up things like wastewater treatment capacity. They trade the credits for that. So we'll be straight up just doing it.
And we'll have credits to spare potentially.
We will have credits to spare.
Yeah.
It's
So
great.
if Hartford County's listening.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. I am a little remiss that you're not wearing an all-black suit tonight. You know, Tim's typically the man in black for those who don't know. So, just real quick, just want to throw out that the Youth Commission will be meeting Thursday in the large conference room, 7 p.m. That's June 23rd, Thursday, 7 p.m. The large conference room here at City Hall. Also wanted to wish everybody a happy solstice, happy summer. I'm looking outside and I still see some daylight, so that's incredible. But you know, as soon as the rest of my council members and council presidents say what they got to say, I'm sure that that'll pass. Mr. Mayor, I did have one question, and perhaps you guys don't know yet, but when could the council expect a presentation for the downtown revitalization project?
From Tool, yeah, Mr.
So I know that the tool design is out there, but is that verbatim what the administration's planning to follow? I guess that's really my question.
So where we are at this moment, there's KCI's down there taking some, doing some surveying, because of a lot of what the design sort of speaks to, elevation-wise, we're not sure if it can be accomplished. If you notice, like on the coffee shop side of the street down at 5 Points is one elevation, and you get on the other side, it's a different elevation, and then they kind of cattywampus as you go down the block. So they're working on that. At the same time, Mr. Woody has contracts out to locate all the utility lines. To answer your question, I'll speak with Mr. Seipold, and either we can do it one of two ways. We can do a work session, if you like, where he can present, and then there can be interaction between the council. He could do one as a council meeting, but I think that would probably limit your ability to have some good dialogue. So I think if council president and councils, if that's your prerogative, then we'll go ahead and schedule something with Mr. Seipold on a evening that's everyone from council is available.
Yeah, I think, I mean, a presentation at a council meeting of the tool design, is that what you're referring to? I think that would be appropriate, just because I know that members of the community are kind of curious. You know, I know that it hasn't changed a whole lot since the final wrap-up of that. But, you know, perhaps a work session in the future, once all of the other issues have been ironed out, would be appropriate.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you. Thank you all. Happy summer. Be safe. Don't leave your keys in your car, right, Chief? Yeah. And I'll talk to you later.
Thank you very much, Councilman Robertson. Good evening, Councilmember Shenakis.
Good evening, Mayor Martin, council members, directors, members in the audience, and at home. I just want to say thank you so much to the Havre Grace Arts Collective for the luau they put on this last Saturday. It was amazing to see all the citizens come out dressed in their floral print and to just enjoy a fun evening. The weather was cooperative, and we had many volunteers helping out. It was great to see, and I hope we're able to do it again next year. I also would like to say congratulations to all the ladies that have been reappointed to the Arts Commission. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure to work with you the last 2 years, and I'm going to miss being a part of the fun, but I do know that going forward, you will continue to do great things, and I will be able to be involved and attend the concerts in the park, as well as the Children's Festival, which will be September 10th on a Saturday, 11 to 3 at Tidings Park. I'd also like to say I'm very proud to be able to have attended the Maryland Municipal League, and I met many people from other municipalities, and I was very proud to see Havre de Grace showcased at our tourism booth, and just to be able to speak about the great things with other people from different cities and just share my joy for our city. So with that said, I would also like to say thank you, Mr. Tim Whitty. It's been wonderful to see you at the council meetings, to see you around City Hall, and I know you're still going to be around, so I look forward to seeing your project come to fruition. It's amazing, and thank you so much for all your hard work and ingenuity, and I wish everyone a wonderful first summer, and enjoy your night. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Councilmember Shenegis. Good evening, Councilmember Martin.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council President, Council Directors, and those in the audience as well at home. Ditto, ditto, ditto. And my only other comment is at MML, the city's booth was well attended. I managed to work it for a couple of hours, and I will tell you the recognition we got from other municipalities about Tim, the living shoreline, Mr. Mayor, our trolleys. People were asking questions they were excited to see, and they wanted to know how we were able to accomplish it. So again, that is a proud moment for me working there to be able to talk about this city, but also to extol on all the processes we have in place and how we are able to move forward. So again, I want to thank everybody on the administration, the staff, for making that happen.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Martin. Appreciate the comments. Councilmember Boyer, good evening.
Good evening, Mayor. Just really quick, I want to let everybody know there's a street and traffic safety meeting on the 27th of June at 6 o'clock. Sorry, Mr. Whitty, I'm pretty sure you're not going to be attending that. So.
No, he'll be there.
Oh, you're going to be? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing you there. And congratulations on your quasi-retirement. And with that, I want to remind everybody that mail-in voting has started for the primary elections. The deadline to register for an absentee ballot is the 12th of July. Early voting will take place between the 7th and 14th of July, and the primary is scheduled for the 19th of July. And if you have any questions about where your polling location is, you can look it up on the Harford County Votes website. And happy belated Father's Day to everybody. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. And I wish everybody in the audience a wonderful Independence Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Boyer. Good evening, Council President Rimsaker.
Mr. Mayor, Council, you're a funny man. Tim, I want to thank you for how much help you've given me over the years, especially with the Scouts. I know I've been hitting you up a lot. You and your staff have helped me out immensely, and you're finding us projects, doing a bunch of other stuff. You've met with some of our Scouts. I just found out there's a traffic safety merit badge, so I'm probably going to hit you up for that too. So we'll figure that out. Again, Mr. Broussier mentioned about meeting with me. We talked about a bunch of stuff like he said. It was great. Such a vast wealth of knowledge. We're really in a good position with the city on the planning side, and I'm happy to have you, sir. Just so the council knows, we will be having a couple work sessions coming up, one on the comprehensive plan, one on the short-term rental ordinance again, and one on the event approval process and fees. So those notifications will come out when we have those set. Let everybody else know. I want to thank the council for passing the budget tonight, and I want to thank the administration for presenting us with a budget that was lean and done very well, very exceptionally well, trying to save taxpayers' money and spend it properly. So thank you for that. I took the mayor's advice to go down to see Water Street, but I did it from a different route. Took my boat out with my daughter, and we went around down by Gene Roberts and all up along the shoreline there to see the other side. And I was amazed. It looks completely different than what you would see from the street side because, you know, it's blocked off for construction. I can't believe how much work we've actually got done already. I mean, that looks fabulous. I mean, it really does. I mean, I was really surprised. It almost looks like you could just stop right now and you already got a beach. So, you know, I'm looking forward to using that when it's done. And congratulations, that's quite a project. Did take my daughter out, caught a bunch of fish up there north of the island. A lot of boaters going to be out there. Just if you are boating, be careful, be safe, and make sure if you're underway, wear your life jacket. Be safe. But this Saturday, we got the Adopt a Highway for Troop 965. So if you guys see us up along where I-95 and 155 meet, just honk the horn and wave. And then afterwards, I know it's not our municipality, but the Darlington Parade is that evening. I encourage everybody to go out and support their community as well, because they'll be coming to support us. So that's at 5:30 on Saturday. So with that, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you very much, Council President. We're going to go to item 18 on this evening's agenda, which is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Councilmember Martin, seconded by Councilmember Zinner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say nay. Motion to adjourn. The meeting carries 6-0 in the affirmative. The time is now 8:32 p.m. Everybody have a good rest of the week. Happy 4th of July. We'll see you back here on Tuesday, July 5th. Thank you, everybody. Good night.